It's been about a year now since I finished my Chrono Trigger playthrough, and I still find myself going back to it from time to time, just to run around in that world. I realize the reason I do that is the game's exceptional soundtrack. Never before has a game's music had such an impact on my experience with it. So let's explore the music in this timeless classic a little bit more. Chrono Trigger is not only renowned for its captivating story and immersive gameplay, but also, maybe even more so, for its remarkable music. The music of Chrono Trigger is undoubtedly some of the greatest music ever scored for a video game. So how is it then that 16-bit music, old enough to be on the verge of a midlife crisis, can still hold its own against the musical marvels of today, where there are virtually no limits to what can be created? There's a famous saying that goes, "Limitation breeds creativity." This is very much the case for the Chrono Trigger soundtrack. The hardware limitation of the Super Nintendo system, coupled with the then still unrecognized Yasunori Mitsuda's burning urge to prove himself as a composer, was all it took to create this musical masterpiece. Though Mitsuda is well known today for his work, at the time of Chrono Trigger he was still unknown. His career at Square began in 1992, where he was tasked with creating sound effects for well-known games such as Secrets of Mana and Final Fantasy V. In 1994, a year before the release of Chrono Trigger, motivated by his poor salary and immense musical potential, he decided to take radical action in order to start composing actual music. He presented an ultimatum to the CEO at the time: "Give me a position where I can compose real music, or I leave the company." The CEO entertained Mitsuda's request by assigning him to work on the Chrono Trigger project, and commenting that once he had finished the project, maybe his salary would increase. Needless to say, he seized the opportunity and worked himself to the bone, apparently often passing out at work and waking up just to continue composing. His unhealthy work-life balance ended with him being hospitalized for stomach ulcers after composing 54 tracks for Chrono Trigger. Japanese musical legend Nobuo Uematsu swooped in to compose the final 10 tracks for the game. The music of Chrono Trigger is a fusion of various musical styles, including classical, jazz, rock, and traditional Japanese music. This blending of genres created a captivating and dynamic sound that perfectly complements the game's narrative and gameplay. What makes the music of Chrono Trigger so special is, for one, that a 16-bit system such as the SNES allows for 8 individual music samples to be played simultaneously. Mitsuda composed and programmed music on such a limited system, but with such intricacy, that some of the more memorable songs, whether reproduced by a philharmonic orchestra or just the main melody played on an ocarina, is instantly recognizable. Mitsuda embraced these limitations and pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Every time period featured in Chrono Trigger has a memorable overall theme, fitting the mood and ambience of the zone. Mitsuda's compositions showcased complex melodies, intricate arrangements, and a level of emotional depth rarely seen in video game soundtracks of the time. Chrono Trigger's music is not only fantastic and unique, it is an integral part of the game's identity, and a beloved classic in its own right. The emotional connection that players feel to the game's narrative and characters is deeply intertwined with the music. Mitsuda's compositions enhance the gaming experience, evoking a wide range of emotions and immersing players in the world of Chrono Trigger. Themes like At the Bottom of the Night make great use of minor and drive home feelings of hopelessness. While tracks featuring in the 1000 AD era and in the Millennial Fair lighten the mood perfectly to match the peaceful NPC narrative. Wind Scene, the area theme from the 600 AD period, showcases a 16-bit orchestra featuring staccato strings accompanied by a catchy low-register progression epic call and response chorded overtones and an indefinite loop that mimics the misty overworld tone perfectly. Everything I just said, important as it was to say, was all a bunch of historical and technical music mumbo-jumbo. But ultimately, all of it comes down to one thing. When a Chrono Trigger fan hears just about any song from the game, they will instantly recognize it, and it will immediately evoke some kind of emotion directly related to playing the game. Personally, I've only recently discovered Chrono Trigger, but I can only imagine what it must be like to hear one of these songs now and to be instantly transported back to your childhood. It must be more than nostalgia, more than just good memories. It must be a fundamental part of who you are and what your life has been. That is why the music of Chrono Trigger stands as a testament to the fantastic and unique qualities that define its iconic soundtrack. It's why so many people have become musicians in their own right, inspired by the game's soundtrack. Through inspiring compositions, a unique blend of musical styles, and the legacy it has left on the video game music industry in general, Chrono Trigger's music has been quite literally life-changing for some people, and remains, and will continue to be, a timeless masterpiece. So that's it. Thank you very much if you stuck around this long, and a particular thank you to all the Chrono Trigger fans who subscribe to my channel. Not a single video that I've made so far has gotten the response that my Chrono Trigger review has gotten. It was clear to me from that video that Chrono Trigger fans are a passionate bunch, and I appreciate all of you deeply. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers. I'll see you in the next one.